Okay, this week is a little bit different to what the normal kind of routine and format is, but I think this is really important, or because it's something you can instantly do, and it helps a lot, or well, like I think it does, or well, it should in theory. So, sorry, I just had to drink. What are we talking about today? So, a lot of the instance of time, I was watching this movie called Don't Look Up, which is about this movie that has Leonardo DiCaprio in it. It's pretty much an allegory for climate change and our whole world's, collective response to it, and just all the emotions and avoidable tragedies that kind of occur. And sometimes when you can watch a movie like that and you think about an issue like climate change, you can stop and think to yourself like, well, that's a global thing. Like that's beyond something out of my control to change or do something about. But not exactly. The thing about it is if a lot of people do small little acts together, that collectively combines to become a big act. So what we're going to do today, or what I'm going to show you, is how just literally changing the search engine you use for surfing the web and searching things online can have an impact, a positive impact when it comes to climate change and stuff like that. And also, we get to screw over Google, which is always fun because they're awful people. So let's go over to an internet. Well, I got Google Chrome up. Geez, I just said Google's bad. Whatever. I don't even use this really. I'm just using it as an example. So we're going to change to a search engine called Ecosia, which is spelled Ecosia. Now, how do we do this? Good question. So if you're on your internet browser or whatever like this, right, there should be something like this, these three little dots. You can open that up and there'll be a settings section. So you want to go down to there. Then once you kind of get to this, and this will be different for different search engines and sorry, different internet browsers. So Microsoft Edge or Safari might be a little bit different to Chrome. But what we want to do is there'll be somewhere where we can look at the search engine, the default search engine for the internet browser. So I've got a Cozy here, so I've already set it up, but I guess I can show you how to do it. But in most instances, it won't already be there. So you'll have a choice of like, Google, Bing, Yahoo. God, Yahoo's still around. Okay, that's new to me. But Ecosia is the one we want. Now, how do we get that option? So, well, easy. Let's do it on Google so it makes sense um, to your probable experience. So let's type in Ecosia. Boom, search. So what we'll get up is we'll get this, Ecosia, the search engine that plants trees. And you can take a guess at why I might like this, but let's go in. So, they have Ecosia for mobile. Who would have thought? So I believe there should be somewhere where you can down. So, oh God, now isn't this going to be embarrassing? Normally in most instances, there's a button saying like download here or something. God, this is kind of embarrassing. Saying I'm just trying to recommend this. Damn. Okay, I'm pretty sure if you don't have a Ecosia downloaded or whatever, there should be some sort of button or plugin that you can download, and it will want you to download a plugin. But pretty much it's not here for me because I think I might have because I've already downloaded it. I don't think it works. But let's go to the reasons why they're really good. So let's just cover why they think you should pick them. So they're a not-for-profit. So that's always a good thing. So and dedicate 100% of our profits to climate action with at least 80% financing tree planting projects. Sweet. Ecosia is powered by 200% renewable energy. Wow, look at that. Our solar panels produce twice the amount of energy needed to power all searches with renewables. So isn't that great? So not only are you helping to plant trees through ad revenue and stuff like that, also their operations are completely through renewables with solar panels. Great. We are transparent about everything we do. We publish detailed financial reports and frequent updates from our tree planting projects. We always put your privacy first. We anonymize your searches and don't create a profile of you. We're interested in trees, not your data. So, if you know anything about what Google and does like that, so all your searches and all your information, they do that to geotag and, identify which, subgroups and interest groups you fall into, and then what markets you can be sold to, and then they sell ads and, everyone thinks it's just about the search engine. Nah, man, it's about gathering data on you, which is really bad. So them not tracking who you are, and they just anomalize all the data means, you know, that isn't being done, which is very good. So if we come on their main website here and we go all the way down, we can find financial reports, and they've got all sorts of different ones where they explain how they spent their money on what things they did it, God damn it, where is it? So here we go. So November 2021. So their total income was 2.1 million euros. They've financed that many trees, and here's the breakdown of their different financing, right? So that went to trees, which is 35% of it, which is great. They've got green investments, taxes and social security. Well, you always got to pay taxes, right? Spreading the operational costs, and then a tiny bit on spreading the word. So I'm kind of doing, and then it goes a little bit further and shows the locations and how it's broken down. So if you think it's just like, oh, well, how can I know? I can think I'm doing a good job by using Ecosia, but then, you know, how do I know? It's like, well, you can come to their uh blog here where they kind of detail all the different actions they're doing. So I just showed the finance one just to show that the money is going to where it is. But then you can go read through all these different or have a look through all these different blog posts that they've got here that can kind of give you more insight into what actual projects and things they do. But yeah, just to go back, I'm going to change that away from Google and back to Ecosia. So yeah, just a reminder, type in Ecosia into Google or whatever current search engine you're using. Go into that main page. There should be something where you can download the plugin, and then once the plugin is in the browser or whatever, that's when you can come through these settings and come down to settings and then go search engine and set it as Ecosia. Another thing you might be a little bit worried about is well, if I let's type in YouTube. So I just want to show that the search engine results are essentially 99% of the time the same. So YouTube, boom, we got the same thing. So we type YouTube, there it is, and they got little ads up top. And let's actually type in my one. See, it should Jordan any productions. Let's copy that, enter. Let's do the same thing here. What do we get? So it comes up the top here on Google, and on Google, I'm up the top as well as there. So what you can see is that your results are your search results are pretty much identical in pretty much every way. There might be the odd website that doesn't maybe might be one or two down the list, but for the most part, it's pretty much a one-to-one. Instead of the Google overlay, you just have the Ecosia overlay. And an added bonus about it, and something that makes it really cool, is here you have your searches. So this is the number of searches you have performed with Ecosia. On average, you need around 45 searches to plant a tree. So if I go, I don't know, just type in YouTube again. So that should go up to 25. See, it's gone up to 25. And so it should keep a log. I mean, I think you have to sign in or something to do it, but I'm pretty sure it stays there regardless. But yeah, that's just a quick, well, not really quick, but me trying to explain in a small little way that you can make one tiny change. Because once you've made the change, that's it. You don't have, you're going to be searching things always. So you're already doing something, searching the web and stuff like that. You may as well employ that, activity you're doing for something that's worthwhile. I'm not saying, you single-handedly are going to save the planet, but, imagine if everyone used a service like this. Imagine if they started to get like something like Ecosia was starting to get the financing and stuff like that that would come along with that. Imagine the kind of projects and stuff they can do. And already, like I said, they're entirely renewable. So their impact is negligible. If anything, they're probably adding things to the renewable energy grid, if anything. And on top of that, they're planting a shit ton of trees, which, is super important because that's oxygen, which we need. Well, think about it. All I can do is give you a pitch and try to convince you. If you don't want to do it, that's up to you. If you want to stick with Google, that's your choice. But I do definitely recommend doing it because I think it's a worthwhile endeavor, and I hope you do. See you next week.